Okay, everybody, this is John. Uh, Next segment of my Boondock camping. Safety and security is up to you in the Southwest. In my last video, I talked about where carrying a weapon on you in like the BLM areas and stuff like that. Now here's where it gets a little weird. You can open carry in general BLM land. Okay, you can have anything hanging off your hip that you so desire, but you can't open carry in state parks or national parks. And so you can conceal carry, but only if you conceal carry. Okay, and only if you have a permit. I mean, I guess you could violate the law. That's up to you. I'm out of that. But the fact of the matter is, you can't openly carry in state or national parks. So there's that issue. Now, with regards to the people, you can't carry on the reservation. You can't carry on Indian lands. You can't carry on the nation. You can't, whatever you want to call it. If it's not U.S. territory, you can't carry there. And that can be a problem because that can be some of the toughest, weirdest area that you may or may not travel to. Okay, so here's an example. In our travels over the last 2 weeks, we saw 3 instances of older gentlemen who were literally stumbling down drunk, like 5 minutes from passing out up there next to the garbage can kind of deal. I mean, just pissed drunk. And after they got done pumping their gas, they got back in their vehicles and drove away because they were drinking. They were piss-ass drunk at noon, but on the Indian reservation. So I'm not going to get involved in that because, for one thing, if you have a problem on Indian land, your avenues of recourse as a white person are completely different. Okay? And so maybe you need to involve the tribal police. Maybe you don't. Depending upon what it happens, the people who are your allies, I believe, are the FBI. Okay? So as I said, it's a freaking mess if you have a problem on tribal land. And so that's something to be avoided. Now this is something I mentioned because I always seem to have trouble on tribal land. And it's not that I go looking for it or instigating it. It's, for example, one time I was traveling through tribal land with my mother, and she wanted to get something to drink. So we went to a supermarket. She was looking for one of these little pint-sized containers of chocolate milk, which is normally in the back of the store. And we walked into this Indian grocery store, and we're the only 2 white faces in there. And suddenly, I don't know where she is, and so I'm the only one wandering the aisles by myself. And 2 Indian guys that looked like they were lumberjacks came up to me, and one of them wanted to punch my fucking lights out and was talking to me in Indian, in Navajo actually, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And the guy next to him kept saying, like, leave him alone, he's not your problem, to the other guy. And the other guy's saying he damn well is, he's white. And so I had no idea what was going on, but there I am deep in the supermarket about to get my bell rung or my head caved in with a 40-ounce can of baked beans or something. It's that kind of stuff that I'm talking about with regards to having trouble on Indian reservation. The other thing is, if you do have to travel through Indian lands, don't come off too much like a Yahoo. I mean, I guess you can take photographs of stuff here and there like you would any other place. I wouldn't make any exceptions about it. But we went into the Zuni Nation, and there were signs everywhere that said basically don't take pictures of a damn thing, which is funny because if you Google Zuni Nation, there aren't really pictures of anything that's going on in there. Fair enough. So that's one thing, and that's their prerogative, and you're there as their guest. The second thing, though, is that we wound up on the other side of the sign. We wound up in some neighborhood because we made a left when we should have made a right. And what this sign said was basically, you should not be back here without an escort from a member of the nation. And so watch yourself with where you go, and things like that. The unfortunate thing is that the Indian people that I've met are really friendly, and so maybe it's because I come off nice, or because they come off nice. But I wish that there was some easy way to bridge the conversation and talk to them and just come off like a normal person. But I think there's still too much animosity there. The other thing, my suggestion is, if you are traveling with your significant other, I would not let that person out of your sight. And here's what happened to us on the Zuni Nation, okay? Andrea went into the gas station to get a refill on our coffee, and I sat out in the RV. And because we were now in two separate locations, separate, obviously, we were each swarmed upon by people trying to sell us stuff and or beg from us. And so we couldn't sort of work together to get out of there, or to diffuse this, or to play this off or deal with it. And so it was like captive audience 101. Obviously I got out of it. I'm standing here, but that's something to be concerned about, or just to be aware about. All right, I guess that's about it. That's all I have. Oh, the other thing is, you're really not welcome to camp on Indian lands, okay? When we were in Arizona on the Navajo Nation, there was a designated campground, and so we paid our $15 or $20 to camp there that night because we wanted to look at the ruins in that area the next day. But as far as like this idea of pulling over or going up a little side road, or camping in some sort of parking lot or something, nah, they don't want you doing that. And you probably don't want to be doing that. And even though they say you can camp in the parking lot at Indian casinos, I have yet to find one where I completely feel welcome to do that, where the facilities don't come off like complete Mongolian ass. So anyway, there you have it. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. If you have any problems or questions, leave them in the comments down below. Otherwise, do me a favor and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.